Basically, okay. I'm audible enough now, right? Haya. Hii session yenye tuko nayo, wenye wamealikwa hapa wote, kila mtu ni leader in their own different capacity, right? So we are not here to teach each other. Hakuna mtu mwenye anafunzwa. What we are here to do is to remind each other that youth leadership is an important part of development, that tunahitaji kupatia vijana nafasi, and also kwa yule mwenye akona uoga kuingia uongozini, at least tumeona I'm very much inspired by Moyale Township youth. You guys should be proud of yourselves because I think I've heard of more than 5 aspirants from there. Where that inspiration came from, I don't know, but we need it in Sagante because I come from there, and we only have one young aspirant from Sagante. Regardless, all the other regions of Marsabit County need to be inspired so that young people can take up these positions. At least, even if we will not, like Kontoma said, even if we will not get the seat, we will have gotten the votes, right? Okay. On leadership and governance, what leadership is? Leadership is ni uongozi, sindio? What governance is? Governance is the system under which an organization or institution or a community is structured, right? If I'm wrong, you can chip in anytime because this is a discussion, this is a dialogue. This is not a workshop wenye watu wanafunzwa. Under that, it's very hard, I think, of not just CC hapa peke yetu, it's very hard for any young person to attain any form of leadership position, not political, any form of leadership. Hata kuendelea mbele vizuri career wise, people look at a lot of things. For you to, like, how many young people, any person under 35 who is a CEC or a chief officer in Marsabit County? Why not? Because I know of young people who are less than 30 who have completed their master's education, who have like more than 5 years experience. They meet the minimum qualifications, mbona wasipatiwe nafasi? Just because you are a young person, right? So being a young person should not be a determinant to any form of leadership that you are seeking, whether political, whether in an organization or in any community. Cynthia? So as this, the aim of this program is here to do, is to inspire young people to take up leadership positions. Kama wewe ni any community leader, you are a community mobilizer, endelea na kazi hiyo hiyo. Kama wewe ni political aspirant, usiwache, hakuna aibu kuvaa hiyo seat. Endelea na moyo huo. If you are you have a postgrad or undergrad going on, keep on doing it until you get that enye unahitaji. Every region in Kenya has its own unique challenges. Marsabit is very unique in its own way. Hatuko the same na other counties. We have more than 14 tribes. We have issues of ethnic violence. We have our own unique challenges. But from my opinion, our biggest challenge as young people, our biggest determinant that is to leadership as young people is the factor of cultural what is it? We call it cultural heritage of an mini. But point me, from ancient times, young people have not been leaders in our community. I'm speaking specific to Marsabit County and the communities living in Marsabit County. The structures that have been there, the Gada system for the Borana, the Nabo system for the Rendile, the Ya system for the Gabra, all these systems, these are structures of governance and leaders, right? These have been there in ancient times, but all those who have been in leadership are all, not all men, but elders, I can say, right? So, and these elders have become so powerful that the determinants of all the other aspects of leadership within our county. We cannot ignore the reality that we are living in. As much as we know we want youth factor movement, we want young people to support each other, we will support each other. But then the challenge that we are living in on today is, the challenge we're living on today is the elders are more or less the custodians of everything, the custodians of leadership. So you need to be endorsed, you need to be accepted by them so that you are vying. So the question is, young men and women of this county, how do we overcome this challenge? The fact that elders are the determinants of who becomes the leader. So that is the reality of what is going on here. Lazima wazee wa Manyata, wazee wa clan waseme huyu kijana anatosha ndio waweze kuendelea mbele, si ndio? That's a challenge on its own. How do we overcome this? That's the question that I want every other person to ask themselves. We can have a youth movement, have a network of young people all over the county, comprising of all the ethnic tribes. Na tuseme tuna support each other, right? You see, that itself is a step towards achieving the leadership of young men and women in Kenya. It's very hard. I'll speak for the young women of Marsabit County. It's very hard for any young person to even get any attainment of leadership. For any young person in Marsabit and particularly Kwetu too. It's even worse for any young woman to attain any form of leadership. So as we continue encouraging our young men to vie for these seats, I want to encourage the young women, Monica, Asha, endeleeni na hiyo kazi mnafanya, the CBO that you are doing, the activism that you are doing. There are so many things that I know can hinder you. Vitu zingine zinakupull back, the fact that you don't have resources, the fact that you can call young people na bado wakuulize, is there an allowance? That was a thing that I remember 2017 Mulata was dealing with. He organizes an activity, and the first thing they ask is, do you have money? Am I lying? I don't know that. So when Mutu will come, Zainab will come, and little by little, 10 will come along. Little by little, over time, we'll get 20 participants. After a few years, I know that any event Mulata sends me to, I must attend. You understand? Any event Mutu calls me to, I must attend. So let's be that support system for each other. There is no there's no particular points that we are supposed to give each other. It's just a dialogue. And I hope you have taken one or two things from here. Any questions? Yeah, okay.
Asante sana Zainab Galgalo. Ameweza kutuelimisha mengi kuhusiana na vijana uongozini, na tafadhali itakuwa vyema zaidi tukiuliza maswali. These are our opinion shapers. They are here to guide us, they are here to help us. So itakuwa vyema zaidi sisi pia tukiuliza maswali. Sasa hivi nitamwalika kabla sijamwalika our opinion shapers, tafadhali ukipatiwa nafasi hapa jaribu kuwa as brief as you can. 5 minutes, 7 minutes is enough. Ningependa kumwalika Kana Golicha. Kana Golicha is an upcoming human rights lawyer. Mpigie makofi. He advocates for human rights evaluation and the roles of young people. Nitamwalika aweze kuzungumza na sisi, na kama tutakuwa na maswali itakuwa bora zaidi tuweze kujipanga kuweza kumuuliza. Karibu sana.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My name is Kana Golicha. Kana Golicha is a final year law student at University of Nairobi, an advocate, an upcoming lawyer, community leader, a boyfriend, and a leader. Thank you. Yes. First of all, before I go to the pattern, I have a greeting sent to from BGM all the way from Oslo, Norway. The young people like you who are doing great thing. BGM also from greeting from Ola. This is Ola from Washington DC. Human rights advocate, women rights leaders who are planning to come to Kenya. They lobby Senate, European Union, American, and that's what we do. I also work there. Thank you. So, what are the role of leaders? human rights violation as one of the burning issues. That's why I decided to come to Marsabit. This is the first event in Marsabit I'm attending. So you should clap for me for that, actually, in my life. So I want to tell you about, I'm a upcoming lawyer, and I know I'm also advocating for human rights, trying to, community must get justice and human rights violation, and what role of young people. We young people should not just demonstrate. There's much we can do as a young people. First of all, young people and those who are human rights advocates must take this lesson. Those human rights advocates, you guys need to have data and of every human rights violation happening in this county. Have data. What are human rights defenders? Human rights defenders are not such person who just post on Facebook that they are these people who died. The Constitution of Kenya at Article 1 give you the sovereign power of the people to, you guys are very powerful. Young people are, and everyone, citizen or the common mwananchi, Wanjiko, Alima, Boru, Kana, these guys are, you have the sovereign power to solve your own issues. So you are very powerful. The Constitution has given you the power. That power, you can use it. You can use that power to do change. And that's why I'm happy to see young people, I'm very proud to see young people here trying to bring change. And I want you to do something about human rights violation happening in this Marsabit County. I want you guys, you can do this through many ways. One is advocacy. Advocacy, what does that mean? Most of us in Nairobi, even we don't know how many people have died here in Marsabit. We don't have data. First of all, you need to have data and tell us what's the full name of that person, the gender, what happened to them. And then you can lobby Parliament of Kenya. Through your member of Parliament, try to push your MCAs, not just criticizing him or trying to take power from him, but trying to, through laws, through policy. It's not just only peaceful protest here in town where it's safe, but, up in this mountain, you can't even go there. One of the role of human rights defender, civic education, teach community and your individual world. What about civic education? Why we should not kill? Why we should not steal people's livestock at this century? And that's one of the biggest role that you should do as a human rights defender. The other one is I want to teach you one thing, because I've been able to advocate for human rights violation in North of Africa, to US Senate, European Union, and that's what I do most of the time. So you guys need to know, but in Kenya the law is good. There is many ways. Kenya Human Rights Commission is here. You should gather all those data, human rights violation. Government, the role of the government is to provide security to individuals and property. So if security of citizens are not valued and their properties are not valued, the government has no business to function. And the county government plays big role in security. That is by holding, distributing resource equally, educating, providing civic education, empowering young people. Once the young people are not empowered, they go. You really need to know County Government Act. You need to know County Finance Act. You need to know what is allocated to this county yearly, annually by government. That is the tax you pay, and you are a right holder, have the duty to demand and hold the government accountable through rule of law. So what you guys should do is try to lobby as young people from Marsabit County. Can you do a trip to Kenya Human Rights Commission? Can you call Kenya Human Rights Commission to this county and tell them to investigate human rights violation? And then government must pay for all those lives that's being lost here in this county. That way you can at least bring those people reparation to their family. That's in amount of payment. These families should get something. And you can go to court. Article 165 of Kenya Constitution and Article 21 of Kenya Constitution give you the power to advocate on the behalf of their fellow citizens who have been killed. As a citizen of this county, as a citizen of Jaldesa, Sagante, Ward, or Moyale, you have the right to go on the behalf of fellow citizens to go to court, petition the court, petition Marsabit County, petition Ministry of Interior, petition Ministry of Peace. that is the agency under the Ministry of the Peace. You have to go to court. You have to go to Kenya Human Rights Commission. You have to go to try, do that, not just protesting. So those are the various role of human rights defenders. And you guys should be now the future, not the future of, next year. Today, and this is the future. Thank you very much.
Asante sana, tumpigie makofi. Tafadhali tuongeze. Ameweza kutuelimisha kuhusiana na human right advocacy. Ni jambo nzuri sana. Ningependa kualika John Abdubu wako ambaye atatusaidia kuelewa zaidi Constitution of Kenya chapter 6 ambayo anazungumzia leadership and integrity. Karibu sana President John.
Okay. Aya. So good afternoon all. Vijana power. Vijana power. Vijana mbona mmetulia? Hao watu wacha niwaambie the reality. Hawana the aggressiveness the young people need to have when they want leadership. Sijasikia hata kiongozi akisema tia lala. Tivim. Unararua yote, sawa? But my name is John Abdubu Wako. I am an author, a motivational speaker, I am a youth leader. I've engaged a lot in matters of education and creating a good and safe space for the young people to attain the education level, both in university, high school and primary, and in our locality. So today I will want to thank Muchu for doing this summit for us here in Marsabit. We require this, and not just about the aspirants, but the young people in Marsabit who aspire to be leaders. And being a leader is not just position. It is the urge of you making a change in our society, doing any simple thing that is required. And vijana, I will want to tell you, turn ni nini? Turn ni nini? Na time ni nini? Na form ni gani? Form ni kujipanga. You need to go for your space. You don't need to be given. Take it. Leaders grab positions. Ukingojea leo you be the MCA you want to be, forget about it. You need to have to take it. So I will take 3 minutes. Your time ni kidogo. I wanted even 1 hour to teach you about leadership and integrity of chapter 6 of the Constitution. Our Constitution now on 27th August, juzi, attained 11 years since promulgation in August 27 of 2020, when President Kibaki was the president. Today, the Constitution got a lot of, challenges here and there during implementation, and mambo ya BBI ikaanza, people want to change the Constitution, but the judiciary stood firm in making the Constitution stronger and better. But it can be changed. There is no Constitution that will remain the same. It will be changed. But the time now is to actualize whatever is there, because we have not implemented even a third of what the Constitution is saying. And today, leadership and integrity should be driving force for you. And why am I saying this? We need to know the importance of why the Constitution is guiding us. And one, it is guiding us on the function and the structure of different institutions and branches. And the other is to give and state the rights of individuals and institutions. So therefore, today, as you aspire to become an MCA, you have all the rights, security, and the freedom to move anywhere as a young person. Yet the current MCA also has the same right as you. So there is no power that is bestowed on the current and you aspiring. You all are the same. So utakuta kwamba huyu anapewa position wa kwanza aongee, but when the constitution comes, you all have the right at the same time. Ensures equality of all Kenyans, and it promotes good governance. And the last is the basis of all legislation in either the county assembly or parliament. So therefore, you as leaders need to be empowered on what the constitution says and what it means. Okay, Kana said the people have the sovereign power to do what you as an individual, as a Kenyan, leave alone as a leader, you're supposed to do. Read the constitution and know what am I supposed to do today so that I may do it now without waiting to be a leader. Youth today, as I have heard you, most of you aspire, but you don't give solutions to the problems the people of Marsabit are facing. This is a challenge, I will tell you. Don't just aspire, give a solution. And the solution is not when I will be, it is now as a young person. We have the problem of insecurity. What is your solution? We have the problem of unemployment. What is your solution? Are you supporting innovation? Are you supporting creativity in our local CBOs, in our youth groups, in Mashinani? We have internet. We have good smartphones. Are we using the YouTube to send the media stories that we are having in our area? Now, when you go to now YouTube, and no, not YouTube, Twitter, you will check. There is something that is trending there. Leave our tweet here. That is tweeting about the work the young people have done in various places, and this is the program ya government nani kitu ambayo wanaendelea about vijana doing businesses, how they are saving, how they are doing innovation. This is what we need to do in our society. Just not a mere talk. The Constitution in chapter 6, it shows us the responsibilities of leadership. And I will read for you on the guiding principle of leadership and integrity. It says, selection on the basis of personal integrity, competence, and suitability, or election in free and fair process. So therefore, as you go for election, the Constitution is guiding you and supporting you on a fair and free election. There is on the objectivity and impartiality in decision making and ensuring that decisions are not influenced by nepotism, favorism, or other improper motives or corrupt practices. I know you leaders, tusidanganyane, we need to be told the truth. Most of you will take your tribes along and take it as a political tool to your leadership. Some of you will take the name of let me say, I don't want to tag any name of a political leader. For example, myself, maybe nilikuwa kiongozi. So my children will do what? The president, junior. You will tag along that name, but you as a person, are you a leader? There is selfless service based solely on public interest. Do you have the public interest at your heart? Ama wengine wetu tunasema wacha nichukue position nitawasaidia, lakini ni wale watu wanakula kondoo ambao walikuwa wanachunga. We get to the leadership position, we do the same mistakes the former leaders were doing. What do we do as young people? We make a mistake of the young generation they are coming, because they will come with the name of mitaani yetu kama vijana when we will be old. But wao wanasema nini? Wale vijana walikuja na hiyo jina walidufanya nini? Walifanya the same mistakes. So you will move and make the power of the young people less powerful, but by what you do. You get leadership, do the great thing you are aspiring to do. Wacha mambo ya tumbo, usifikirie ubinafsi. Fikiria what you can do. My friend, I have gone to different places, but this place is really down. Chini kabisa. Na no leader is coming up to help us. The young people are not doing good. The old are not doing good. We are all not doing good. We are all failures. Let's not just take the other people failures. We all are failures. Accountability to the public for decisions and actions. When you become a leader, will you come out and be questioned? Ama utasema mimi kama kiongozi siwezi ulizwa maswali? Ukiulizwa shilingi umetumia vipi, utajibu? Ama you will take offense, utasema this guy is my opponent, I won't answer him. I will answer huyu mwenye ananiuliza, ananipea sifa. Be ready to answer questions when even opponents are asking you questions. Discipline and commitment in service to the people. You will be in politics and you're in politics. Leo when you are campaigning, wewe utakuwa wa kwanza kurusha meza, kurusha mawe, kupeleka watu kwa vita, ama you will be the peacemaker. That is the discipline you need to have in chaos, in anger, in a place that, you know, there is no leadership. You need to show leadership and you need to show good governance. Lastly, the young ladies who are here, don't be intimidated by young men here and there. Do what you were told in school. Study, let the power of knowledge be the key to your success. Hapa we have not seen aspirants in that gender. Hakuna. Na mimi nilikuwa nadhani nitaona women rep ambaye anasumbua the current women rep. Hakuna. They are all slaying around. We need to, I don't know how to say it, but you need to man up, woman up, and take your space as a young lady, because this is your time, this is your moment. You have the power. I thank kiongozi wangu Wabusa. He told us about the story of John, Honorable John Igembe South. Alitembea na hiyo sweta yake, my friend, mpaka akaingia MP. He never used any resource. People were helping him. But the thing that was so amazing ni because alijitoa, akajiweka mbele. Don't wait kwamba una gari uwezi enda ile rate. There you have your phone. Today I am known as the president because of the social media. Si ati nilifika mahali ingine, but because people waliona I'm called this, people went forward and mtu akiniona tu ananiita hivyo. And people don't know my name. So move out and take your space. The young people need to have a strategic plan. Today most of you are vying for MCS. Who will be the governor? Is it you still? Am I just aspiring today? There was a time I was talking to a young aspirant who is still vying today. Nikamwambia the young people of Marsabit need to come together and make a strategic plan need to make a strategic plan so that we can know when to get a young governor. Are we together? Young senators, brain MCAs who can make legislations and move our people to greater places. And these governors one time will become presidents. This is our moment for Marsabit. This is the moment of young people. Let's not always promise. Rather, we need to find resources for young people. Maybe I will question the leaders who are today in leadership, but I will also question you. Where were you 5 years, 10 years ago before aspiring to become a leader? Were you involved in any community activities? Were you involved in any legislation of the county? Were you, kuna wengine hata waja kanyanga assembly, county assembly ya Marsabit, hata kupiga picha selfie. No, none of you. Or some of you have gone there, but have you even called your MCA ukamwambia kuna hii bill, sponsor. Now sponsor, I will question you in front of people. We need to come out. We need to act. Let's not just aspire. We need to move the process. Si lazima ukue uko na position, because the thing is, if it is the position, then if you miss the position, what next? We won't do what we aspire to do. We get bad leaders, and then what next? But because you are a good leader, you can do something at a certain level of your life. Finally, ndovu isichoke. Why am I saying this? Mmesikia kuna wengine hapo wamefanya nini? Nilikuwa nawania kiti cha MCA mahali fulani, lakini saa hii imefanya nini? Imeumana. My friend, you said you are aspiring. Don't look back. Go for it. Whatever the outcome, whatever the meetings, whatever the way they will pocket you, that ambition should be on the ballot. That should be your aim. That should be your agenda. So mimi nawaambia ndovu isichoke, imeanza safari, tembeza. Una gari, tembea. Una pesa, omba. Ukiniona mimi niko na pikipiki, wewe una gari, panda nyuma twende, nitakufikisha. But because you need to be a leader, don't look back. Most of the young people, reason ni kwamba we look back and we look at our problems. Sina pesa, au vijana wanataka chai, au sijui. Hata ukiwaambia majamaa kuna tap pale, twendeni na 20 liters jerrycan, tuchote maji, tukunywe maji, do that. But they will know you as a leader. Lastly, technology. Leo hapa tuko, if I was down Kenya, youth Marsabit Young Aspirants Summit will be trending in either YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, name them, TikTok, nini. But most of you people here, naangalia Twitter, hakuna mtu ana tweet. Hakuna mtu anaongea about this. No one is giving a comment on this. The technology today needs to be branded. Your branding should be on technology. Saa hivi nikivaa nitafanya nini? Nitakuwa na President's Media, President Abdul's Media, who will be informing, educating the society. Young people, engage technology. Brand yourself, brand yourself, brand yourself. You tuko down bado. Tunacheza game ya wazee. Bado. Cheza ile game ya kina Sultan Mombasa, my friend. Ikichafuka tunafanya nini? Tunachafua. Have a nice afternoon and become good leaders. Thank you.
Asante sana, tafadhali tumuongezee tena na tena. Kindly, our speakers, let's stick to the time, 5-6 minutes approximately. Kindly. Pia najua tumechoka, tumekaa sana, wengi wetu tumeanza kuangalia saa. Ndio hiyo. Akiko mbali chakula baba. Nakwambia imetayarishwa. Sasa hivi ningependa kumwalika ni mgombea wa kiti cha mbunge aspirant Maragwa. Yeye ameweza kutembea kufika tu hapa kujua youth wa Marsabit wanafanya nini all the way from Muranga. Tumpigie makofi please. Edward Magola, karibu sana. Is the Young Aspirant Association chair. He'll talk about networking of young leaders and youth in politics. Sinizo vitu ndio sisi tunapenda. Wacha tuelimishe basi, ametoka all the way from Muranga. Karibu sana.
Hamjambo. Nashukuru sana kwa nafasi hii ambayo nimeweza kuipokea. I will correct my names. Edwin Mwaura, right? He must have had something different. Lakini nashukuru sana for that. Now, maybe going straight to the point, I'm a teacher by profession and therefore sticking to time is one of the principles, right? I need to be very brief, very, very brief. Our MC is talking about 5 to 7 minutes, and therefore I'll stick to that because I'm also hungry. Now, allow me to be very straight to the point. Why Yaka? Why am I here at Marsabit in such a time? Why am I not in some other places? Those are the questions maybe I'm going to answer very fast. To start with, as he may just have put it, is that I'll be vying for a parliamentary seat in Maragua. Maragua is in Moranga County. And by default, I just happen to be, do I call myself a mentee to Didi Nyoro and Senator Irongo Kangata? Let me just call myself that, because those are my very role models. They're young guys who joined politics when they were indeed very young. Irogo Kangata became a councillor. By then, we never had MCs when he was at the age of 22. And he was as soft-spoken as he is today. Very soft, had no money, had nothing but himself. MCs mnasikia hiyo, right? That man believed in himself. And out of that, he was actually able to traverse across let me just, I think it's a little bit small. That is the word that he was, he was representing. And like in this place, I think maybe a ward in this place is almost the size of a constituency in our place. True? Yeah. So, but he was able to traverse and fight against what we call the edge factor in politics, because whoever was ahead of him was close to 40 years old than him. But he was able to present facts, and he believed in himself. And men and women, and particularly young men and women, for that matter, they believed in him. And he was able to become a leader for the very first time. And to this very moment, I can tell you for sure he's headed to a governor. Let me come out of that. What I'm saying is that it is time to believe in ourselves. Sawa sawa? Kama vile unavyoniona hapa, you might think that I have too much, but I have too little for myself. Maybe apart from what I can feed my wife with and my 2 kids, I've got nothing else. And maybe my career, right? Nothing else. But I believe in myself. Those that I'm competing with are strong, connected, and able. But I believe that with that which is in my heart, with that which I have for the people, I'll be able to go to the next level, and I'll even be able to serve at a higher level. And because I realized that being a young person and being a leader at the same time, it's a challenge, an idea came into my mind several months ago. And the idea was to mobilize or to bring all the young aspirants across Kenya, not just across Mount Kenya or Moranga County, but across Kenya together. And the idea of Young Aspirants of Kenya Association came into being. And out of the same, I was able to contact a few guys here and there. What do? We are running for this. You're from Nakuru County. You're from this other county. Why can't we form an organization or a national platform? Invite ourselves or invite as many as possible. And out of that, we've been able to connect 30 counties by now. And it's by the same that I was able to come across Honorable Abdiaziz Boru. I can hear you calling him something different. Guchu. Is it Guchu or Buchu? Guchu or Muchu. All right. Yeah. It's from the same that we were able to come together and we connected. And by default, because we have 10 regions, that is like Western region, we have Mount Kenya, we have Lower Eastern, Upper Eastern. By default, he became the chair or in charge of Upper Eastern, for that matter. And he has been a very strong pillar and a man who has proved to be a leader. And therefore, I would ask that as you also market yourself out there, mention somebody by the name Muchu, and I think he'll be good to go. Sawa. And basically about young aspirants, or rather Yaka, we call ourselves Yaka. Yaka is the simplest name maybe to use. It's an acronym. We have some objectives. We don't just want to focus on 2022. We want to focus even after Vision 2030. How relevant are we going to remain as a platform? Because after 10th, that is after 9th of August 2022, All these other efforts you see with people will just die. What will happen as young people, in case you do not clinch onto that position? Does it mean you're going to hang yourself out there? Does it mean that you're not going to become a drunkard, or you just run away from politics because it has not worked for you in the first place? No. You need to remain very relevant as we go by. That is towards 2027, towards Vision 2030, towards Vision 2050 for that matter, all right? And therefore, as YAKA, we have one of the very main objectives, apart from coming together and causing what we call necessary political attention. We also are having aspirations to start a YAKA Leadership Institute by January 2023, whereby we are going to train young leaders from the age of 15 to the age of 30 on how to present themselves, on how to carry themselves, or even how to manage themselves, because some are leaders here, but they cannot manage it themselves as people or as individuals. In fact, as a leader, you need to understand when to talk and how to talk and where to talk, why and how. All those WH questions, they're things that as a leader, you ought to have them. And because we cannot maybe exhaust all what maybe we have in YAKA, maybe I would only encourage you maybe to follow us through our Facebook page. You'll find us there. We may not be very developed, but at least you'll be able to engage with us. We are also very soon going to come up with a political party. Kwa sababu gani? Kwa sababu hii. I'm just assuming that UDA is selling very well here. Natumai tu. Inauza, eh? Yeah? Now, my question is, right? Yes or no at the same time? Okay, well, let's come out of that. My question is, suppose you do not get the certificate of nomination, what will happen? Independent? That's an option. Number two, there is the aspect of young people coming together for young people themselves. And from the same, and from those other stakeholders that we've been able to talk to, we have seen it wise. I heard that you said that you tried to start a national political, youthful political party, but it flopped along the way. We wanted to succeed this time around, because I understand what happened, and I can tell you for sure we are going to work on the mistakes for us to succeed. What I'm saying is that YAKA party is on the way coming. We are 70% developed and registered. It's just a matter of launching and what have you. And if you believe that your connections and money does not guarantee you a certificate, because that is what happens. Msidanganyane hapa, kama una pesa na connections, certificate wachana nayo. I'm sorry for saying that, but that is true. Ni kweli ama si kweli viongozi? Is it not true? Come to us. We are doing all the branding. If you look at our what we call a 3-point manifesto, which is PTE, that is People, Technology, and Empowerment, it has got everything that this country requires, because we are the young people. We are the engine of this country. And therefore, if we package ourselves very well, those people shall come looking for us, not us going for them. We have to demand for what we call high political bargaining power. Because even after the elections are over, assuming that 70 of us will just clinch to power, we have nominations, we have placements, we have appointments. We need those positions because we are good to work, right? So that is what we're doing as YAKA, and we're hoping that it shall be well for us and for this country and even our generations. Na kwa sababu naamini ya kwamba zimefika dakika 8, basi naomba mniruhusu kuketi, na mbarikiwe sana, tutakuwa pamoja.
Okay, I have one announcement to make, na itakuwa ni good news kwenu. Kwa yule ambaye amefanya tweet mara nyingi sana, atapata zawadi. Sawa sawa? Atapata zawadi kutoka Abdulaziz Boru, Mheshimiwa Abdulaziz Boru. Thank you.
Sawa sawa, asante sana ndugu yangu Edwin. Ameweza kuzungumzia jambo la maana sana. Amesema youths ni kujituma, selling yourself out there, and networking is very important. At this juncture, I want to invite Adam Hamisi Mohamed. Atakuwa anazungumzia roles of young leaders on peace and conflicts. County ya Marsabit, tunajua ya kwamba mzozo wa kikabila ya mara kwa mara imetukumba na imetuadhiri vijana pia sisi tuna mchango. Ataweza kutueleza kwa kina zaidi sisi vijana tungefaa kufanya nini ili tuweze kuepukana nalo, kwa sababu ni kitu ambayo si la kufurahisha sana. Karibu sana.
Amjambo. Amjambo. Ya, kwanza ningependa kuwashukuru sana nyote because nimefurahia sana kuitwa katika hii function ya leo. It is a very beautiful function. I'm quite impressed kuona kwamba nimesikia mtu kutoka North Aspirant, mtu kutoka Laisamis, Falis Lantare pia namjua, nilikuwa nafikiri umenisahau ama bado hujanisahau? Sawa. So nataka kuambia mtu kwamba kama una uwezo wa kuleta vijana kiasi pamoja tayari umetoboa, si ndio? So wacha nitoke hapo kwa politics, but first and foremost, tukisema tutaongea maneno ya roles of youth in peace and conflict resolution, it can take us hata wiki mzima, inahitaji semina mzima, but tukiweza kupitia hapa machache, tunafaa kujiuliza what is peace, what is conflict and what is resolution. So unakuta kwamba of late vita katika kaunti ya Marsabit change dimension. Kila siku kukicha maneno yanabadilika, kila siku maneno kukicha maneno yanabadilika. Mbeleni ilikuwa ni uwizi ya mifugo, sasa imeendelea, imefika kwa mauaji. Recently I'm a volunteer at Kenya Red Cross and I've attended a lot of responses, na nimeko na machungu mengi sana wakati tunaenda kufanya response. Unakuta kwamba your hard earned household ambayo umetukua muda mrefu kuijenga, mtu anakuja anaichoma kwa dakika mbili. How do you feel that? So it is a very dangerous thing. Na katika hii vita katika kaunti ya Marsabit, the problem which has been affecting us ni kwamba tumekosa kuambiana ukweli, si ndio? So tukiangalia maneno ya root causes ya vita hii katika kaunti ya Marsabit, unaweza sikia mtu anaweza sema ni culture, maneno ya boundary, maneno ya resources, maneno ya leadership, maneno ya politicians and such kind of things. But kama haya ndo chanzo ambayo yanatutatiza, instead of addressing these root causes, unakuta sisi we are very good in treating ailments. Badala ya kwenda hospitali ukiwa na malaria utritiwe malaria, unaenda kutreat fever na vitu zingine. So hii vitu it just come back kila wakati. So bila kuchukua muda mrefu, ningependa kuwahimiza vijana kwa sasa, kwa ile muda ambaye vitu katika hizi vita na mambo mabaya yameendelea, hakuna mtu anafaidika na vita, hakuna community yote inafaidika na vita. So na kwa sasa ni sisi vijana ndo tumika kama nini, kama kuni. Kama ni maneno ya kwenda kupanga raid ni hivyo, kama ni maneno ya kwenda kufanya retaliation ni vijana wanatumika. Of late you can bear me witness, ile maneno machafu vijana tunaandika katika social media, it can boil and it can burst things into out of proportion. So ningependa kuwahimiza, this is a very noble initiative. There are many aspirants here. Kuna watu wengi pia wamefika hapa siku ya leo. Vile mnarudi kuengage community wenu huko manyumbani, engage them in terms of peace pia. Kama hakuna amani, hata wewe hautakuwa na amani. Hiyo kitu utaikalia kwa amani. So bila kupoteza wakati, ningependa kueleza kwamba as one of my friends said, Mutu, you have to create the platform so that maneno roles of youth and leadership on peace and conflict resolution, we can advance it on that platform more. So without wasting time, I wish you best of luck. Pengine 2022 Mungu akitujalia tukiwa pamoja, nataka kuona mko katika county assembly. Sisi ni wazee, unajua nilikuwa nimeshtuka sana, lakini nilipoona Mulata nikafurahi kidogo. So asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki.
Asante sana, shukrani.
Asante sana Mr. Hamisi. Sasa hivi ningependa kualika, wamebaki tu wawili, tusichoke. Nasema tusichoke. Nitamwalika Mr. Boru. Boru is the former JKUAT student leader. Atazungumza nasi na baadaye nitamwalika Abdulaziz Muchu. Atatuelezea roles and responsibilities of MCS. Asante sana. Karibu Bwana Boru.
Amjambo wote. Amjambo. Yes, kwa majina naitwa Boru Ibrahim. I'm a resident in Marsabit. Mimi ni mzaliwa huko na ningependa kushukuru Bwana Mchu kwa kunipa hii nafasi. Leo nimejikaza, nilikuwa kazi mahali but nikasema nitakuja. Mine is just encouragement. Nataka ni wa advice kidogo mambo ya siasa. Nimeona kuna aspirants wengi hapo and you are very much good and it's just a matter of time. I want to give you brief history of mine. Story tu kidogo yangu venye nimeingia kwa leadership ya JKUAT. I'm 26 years old now. First venye nimejoin college, Kenya Wildlife Service Training Institute, that's where my leadership started. Venye nimefika Kenya Wildlife Service Training Institute, it's in Naivasha. There was no system. Ni kwenda tu shule na kurudi. So I started advocating for school to have, leadership programs and so forth and so forth. But unfortunate, I came up with a constitutional where now today, Kenya Wildlife Service, they have a leadership system from presidency, finance secretary, and all of. From there, I was admitted to JKUAT doing environmental science. I supposed to start from second year, but unfortunately we are the pioneers, so I had to study with first years. So I took it positively and continued my studies. On my second year, that's where, on my second year, that's where now I started now again engaging myself in leadership. Nikiwa hapo nilikuwa nakatazwa na watu kusimama. Kwa naambiwa wewe ni oria, hapa hamna. Hii siasa ni ya Wajaluo peke yake, so siwezi simama. But then I was a class rep. So nilikuwa na ile kazi ya kujituma. Somebody said hapa leadership ni kujituma. So when I was a class rep, mimi nilikuwa navaa suit. In university students have suit. Only student leaders ndio wanavaa suit. But I was a class rep na nilikuwa navaa suit smart sana with tie everything. Nilikuwa nafanya kazi yote. Nikajiingisha kazi ya school rep. Not appointed or not elected. Nilikuwa nafanya tu kazi kusaidia wanafunzi kuenda student finance, kuhakikisha unajua kivaa suti hata mtu anakuheshimu. Kweli ama rongo? When you are presentable. When you are presentable, everyone respects you. So there's time student alitolewa kwa exam and this is an orphan student from College of Health Sciences. So venye alitolewa kwa exam nikatoka pia na yeye. Nikashika mkono kwenda hadi kwa finance office. Kusimama hapo nikaambia finance, I'm the finance secretary of Jomo Kenyatta incoming. So kindly allow this man to do exam. Ile nyingine tutaongea. From there I was motivated. So nikaanza kuambia na mtu I'm interested in vying for finance secretary and so forth and so forth. Then I met this guy from Sololo called Rendilicha. He's the former president also there back then. I don't know 202 hapo alikuwa anaita Rendilicha. So nikamwambia Rendilicha mimi nataka kuvai finance. Akaniambia uko na pesa? Nikamwambia sina. Wewe fanya hivi, tafuta ngamia. Nikamwambia ngamia ni ya nini? Si una gari na una pesa funga kikoi, tutafanya campaign na hiyo ngamia. And imagine everyone in JKUAT, I spent only 150,000 Kenya shillings to do campaign. JKUAT, the whole of campus. We have around 14 satellite campus together with JKUAT main campus. Over 30,000 students voted for me and I won. From there, nimepata leadership. So my biggest task is nitafanya kazi gani? So I implemented the 30% for the bursaries. Everything, students walikuwa sawa na mimi. When I was vying for the president, imagine hakuna mtu alisimama na mimi. I went unopposed. I was elected unopposed because of the fear, the leadership that they had in me. Mimi sikuwa naongeanga story mingi, nilikuwa tu nafanya kazi. I think nilifanya tu strike moja na Muchu I think anakumbuka, but hata hiyo strike VC mwenyewe aliniomba nifanye because of the insecurities in Juja. You see, such kind of leadership we want from you guys. So msiogope kitu yoyote. The young aspirants, we are with you guys, so msiogope. And there's a lady who talk about wazes. Kwetu hapa we have a lot of clan in us, we have a lot of, wazee ndo wanaamua. So please, mkienda huko nyumbani, talk to these wazes. Talk to these wazes positively. Tell them the reality. Saizi tunaumia because of them. Because wao ndo wanatuimpozea leaders. Just come out clearly, say what you want, be aggressive like Muchu. Muchu in fact amenimotivate. Mimi nilikuwa nimeogopa siasa nikasema sitavai. Nimesema I don't want anything with politics in Marsabit County. Because the first time niliambia brother yangu I might vie for MCA or MP in Marsabit. He told me, wewe ongea na wazee. And I told him why. Then nikaongea tu na wazee wa Manyata tu watatu ile tunajuana na akaniambia wewe kwanza enda oa. You see the kind of mentality they have. Sasa nimeoa. Nimekuja tena kwao. Wananiambia enda tafuta mtoto. Sasa natafuta mtoto up to when? You see, those are the challenges we are going through as youths. Unaona? So hii kitu kama hatutatoa ndani yetu. Unaona? Kama hatutatoa ndani yetu, it will continue this way. So let's stand up firm. Let's be aggressive. Tuambiane watu ukweli, si ndio? Yeah, sure. And that's the only advice I have for you. All the best and may God bless you all.
Tumpigie makofi tena. Asante sana. When we have people coming here and sharing their experiences, it really motivates. Now, nilisema nimebakisha mtu mmoja, si ndio, wa kumwalika. Nimeomba kumwalika tena mtu mmoja mwingine wa mwisho sasa. He is IFPC team leader, Initiative of Progressive Change. Hassan Mulata, karibu sana. Uweze kuzungumza na sisi, uweze kuzungumza na vijana. Vijana wamesema kwa sauti moja, sasa sisi tumeamua kaunti ya Marsabit. Karibu sana.
Thank you. Jambo. You know, this guy is telling me niko kwa ile vulnerable group. You need to sanitize very well. Very interesting. And me, I don't think I'm in a vulnerable group. I'm just immediate former NYC chair. It's not even former because we don't even have current NYC chair. So until the elections are done, there is an idea I shared. I think guideline on, yes, the election was actually supposed to be done in 2018, somewhere there. But the government wanted to do some appointment on the youth leadership and we contested that. So I think as a result, we mobilized some of the MPs and the rest. So they had to change in the vijana wachague viongozi wao. So I'm glad that now they are doing an election. Hopefully, I don't know when, but at least the guideline is out. So as he said, I'm Hassan Mulata, Initiative for Progressive Change team leader. And I really don't have much to say because venye nimeketi pale, siku expect kuongea, siku kuja kama nimejipanga nitaongea. And equally, I wanted to keep a very low profile
So hata kuingia nilipita na huko nyuma nikaenda kukaa pale. But interestingly, I'm glad that I was mentioned more than 3 times by different speakers. So nimeacha wenye nimehand over kazi kwao. Nimeacha kazi ikiwa sawa sawa, because when we took the leadership of the young people sometimes back, we had to fight for even such forum. People thought youth are specific individuals. Na kumbe youth ni mtu between under 35. So wakati yetu, when we were fighting for the youth leadership, most of the youth thought youth ni group ya watu kadhaa. So haikuwa rahisi, but now sai vijana wanakaa wanaongea and it's amazing. So pongezi Muchu for bringing us together, the young people together, and nimeona vijana wengi wana contest. It is the best thing that is happening to this county. The only thing is isishi hapa, because most of the time there is a lot. Mumesikia December MPs, mumesikia, si ndio? Every December there is a lot of aspirants, but December election, now that it is actually August, ikifika August, the people who appear on the ballot are very, very few. So isikuwe hivyo. I want to see a good number of you on the ballot box, on the ballot paper. Number 2, I don't encourage 4 or 5 contestants from one ward ambao wote ni vijana, because mtakuwa mnajiweka slaughterhouse. You have to sit down together now, because you are contesting to win. Ama namna gani? Are you guys contesting to lose? Ama mnataka tu jina? Kwa siasa, the person who is number 2 and the person who is the last, maybe out of 10 contestants, akuwe number 10, are equal and the same in a way. Si watu wataenda nyumbani? Ama namna gani? So we want young people washinde na waingie kwa assembly. And if mko watano, and that will spoil your chances of winning, itapea another person a chance, why not sit down and then agree? Ama namna gani? So ensure that candidate where you are many, sit down together. You can create a platform kama hii award, you share your, what do we call, manifestos, you defend your position, you get the best, na muna support mtu mmoja miongoni mwenu, and then kazi inaendelea. As Mr. President said, leadership si kupata hiyo position peke yake, si hiyo position peke yake. Leadership is all about, if you are in a position to transform, to inspire someone, then you are a leader. There is a time I was sitting in a board where Wings to Fly, if it happened. And then we have a conversation with a certain lady who was our secretary, tulienda field, tukarudi. I spoke about Yali to her and all the opportunities that are out there. After a few months, he texted me. Kumbe alirudi kwa rekodi yao akatoa namba yangu hapo. Asema, you don't even remember me, I know. You don't have my number, but I'm so and so. Following your advice, I have applied this and this. Na she was traveling outside the country for her masters. Sina opportunity amepata. So at least unakuta mtu like there is that feeling of fulfillment unapata. Ladies, at least nyinyi mko sawa, mmejaribu sana. At least we have, when we are dealing with matters youth, tulikuwa tunaomba wasichana wa contest tafadhali, because they are not there. A week ago I happened to participate in a certain forum that deliberate on the women leadership. What are the challenges? So all the women, 90% of participants are women. Oh, wanaume this, wanaume that. Elders this, elders that. Then I asked them one question. How many of you have contested in Marsabit County? 6 contested MCAs, 2020 to 2017. Mnajua wangapi walishinda? Eh? How many percent? Unajua mnaangalia at face value too. That was 40% of those who contested. So suppose wange contest zaidi. So sometimes you need to also present yourself ndio uweze ku. So hata vijana pia, ladies, please contest. Go for these seats. Then if out of, we have 20 wards. So if 10 vijana wakiingia, sio ni 50%. It's a good start. But the challenge we have na nyinyi vijana pia ni issues to do with ethnicity, negative ethnicity. It's good tuambiane ukweli, si ndio? Because since mimi nikiwaona hivi sioni individuals, naona I see a potential wenye wako hapa for me is in thousands, because kila mtu has a potential of influencing like 100, because you are leaders in your own right, si ndio? Na nyinyi wote mko hapa, how comes social media yetu, pages za Marsabit ni full of negative ethnicity? Like someone can have a field day akitusi another one venye anataka, na mko hapa na nyinyi ni vijana. Sijui kama I'm making sense. Like, can we contest? You know, that is where we begin. You say, no, this is wrong. This is how it should be. So hizi vitu zote, like Twitter, how comes, you know, things happen and it doesn't even trend? You only need 1,000 tweets at most, it trend. 1,000. How many are we here? By the way, how many are on Twitter? To begin with, you know. Yeah, you know, hizo mkono zinakuja na energy, which means quite a good number of us are not even on Twitter. I agree now, I wasn't agreeing wakati nilikuwa nakaa huko ukisema tuko ligi ya wazee, sikuwa naamini sana. But now I'm somehow convinced we need to achana na hiyo league, si ndio? And then Twitter, hata Facebook's important, but Twitter is the place because you can get a lot of very influential people and on those pages and on Twitter. So it's important to embrace technology, social media, very key. And finally, as you go out to campaign, make sure you have your solutions, as everyone has said. Number 2, make sure you begin this journey na familia yako. We know our setup, dynamics zetu si kama sehemu zingine. To a campaign, I'm one of the key person in siasa, one of the MPs around. The first thing politician will capitalize on ni if you are not in good terms or your family is not supporting you. Watakimbia kwa family, wakati mtu atakuja asema mimi na support Abdulaziz Muchu, mtu anaba huyu hata anko yake support yeye, huyu hata nani support yeye. So wewe unatuambia nini? Unaelewa? So start with your family, with your youth group within your village. Kwanza kwa sasa hata achana na wazee. Don't go to them. They will kill your ambition. Usiende huko sahi. Galvanize youth as much as you can. Ukikuja mkutano na hawa kuja na vijana. That is when they will realize huyu jamaa ako na force. Unaelewa? We have done that and it had worked in pushing for a certain agenda na ikafaulu. Ukijileta peke yako, forget. So build a critical mass of young people within your wards, and then you'll be able to use that as your bargaining power wakati mnakuja kwa table na wazee. Then ensure you tag along your parents, mother particularly, achana na baba. Your mother, you know, mama wanakuanga na soft spot for their sons and daughters. Sio? Tag along, hizi women unapenda kaa na wao, mobilize them, and then ngangana na siasa yako. So otherwise it's important you have came, mmekuja pamoja. I'm glad that there is a young aspirant association ambayo it's now in place. You want to form your political party, very important, I suppose. So for Marsabit County particularly, you guys have the power to change the ethnic narrative na conflict venyeko. Because if you're having someone from Nodor here, if you're having someone from Leisamis, if you're having people from like across the Marsabit County, then what is stopping us from talking about peace? Nini inatuzia? Hakuna. So musijione wadogo. Now this is a force to reckon with. I expect next time you guys are issuing a press statement on the security situation and petitioning the county commissioner and the rest, and calling out names of those who are messing us out. Then it will be more powerful than an ordinary youth out there saying something. Because itakuwa ni viongozi. I'm hopeful of Marsabit with this kind of leaders around, because at least inaonesha kitu, si ndio? Then you actually ask all the other aspirants who are not the young people to come together also and speak in one voice when it comes to matters peace and security. Sawa. So it's us or you guys to push them. Then at least kutakuwa na maendeleo. So because without amani there is no maendeleo, right? Marsabit was standstill. In the last incident iliumana sana, si ndio? So nobody was happy, everything was, social life was disrupted and it was a big mess. So, and this is our Marsabit for all of us. So for me, sikujipanga kusema, but naona nimeongea mingi. So thank you so much and may God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you, senior. Yes, thank you.
Asante sana Adam Mulata. Nilivyosema hapo mbeleni tunapeperisha moja kwa moja kupitia mitandao ya kijamii ya Radio Jangwani, na wengi wameweza kusema nasi. Mmoja tu nikiweza kusoma, I believe huyu pia ni is a youth. I believe in young people of Marsabit. The old have been defeated. They have negatively influenced the young, especially the less and uneducated. We need the old, but we have the power and mind to do away with what makes Marsabit or what lags behind Marsabit. Some of our old have been given bad results. Anaendelea kusema, we need new and young guys for different results, and that lies in young generation. Ni moja kati ya wale ambao wameweza kuchangia ama kuweza kufuatilia kwa mitandao ya kijamii. Wengi wameweza kusema nasi, ni comment. Tunasema asanteni kwa nyinyi ambaye pia hapa nimeona baadhi yenu ambao mmeweza kufuatilia. Tunasema asanteni. Among the comments, kuna wale wameweza kusema these are the youths who are leading in conflicts. Okay, tunajua ya kwamba vijana wana uwezo wa kufanya chochote. When it comes to conflict, vijana tunajua wana uwezo. When it comes to peace building, tunajua vijana wana uwezo zaidi. The same way when it comes to politics, we know vijana wana sauti, si ndio? Tafadhalini tuweze kutumia nguvu yetu, sauti yetu. Haswa ningesisitiza masuala ya amani katika kaunti ya Marsabit. Wa mwisho ningependa kumwalika hapa ni yule ambaye ameweza akatuleta pamoja chini ya mwavuli ya Marsabit Young Aspirants Summit. Si mwingine bali ni Abdiaziz Mtu. Tumpigie akikaribia jukwaa, tumpigie makofi. Atazungumza na sisi roles and responsibilities of MCS. Is a young leader of Marsabit County. Karibu sana.
Asante my brother. Sisi wenye tunataka kuvaa kiti ya MCA. Wangapi hawajui role yao? Kiti wanatafuta? Wewe si wengi tunajua, si ndio? But briefly tu ile kukumbushana. Si unajua kidini pia wanasema dini sauti inataka ile makumbusho, ile kukumbushana. Si ni kweli? So mimi nataka kusema sisi kama MCS tukiingia hiyo kiti, our role first not it's to serve the community. Si ni kweli? Mali kuna shida lazima tukue hapo. Mali kuna mambo na insecurity lazima tukue hapo, we talk on behalf of the community. And hiyo issue ime come up in the community, lazima tupeleke bunge ile kama ni bunge ya county lazima tupeleke huko ndio hizo issue tutafute suluhu, kama ni through policy, through bill ama through amendment, si ni kweli? So I have participated in some of the bills and some of the leaders when currently wako wanafanya. There's this issue of climate change bill. It was headed by an organization, NGO called Pakja. Later leadership, different stakeholders, NGOs, community-based organization, leaders ku come up with your bill. So sisi pia wenye tunataka kuvai saizi, we have a part to play. We have a role to play even now, because there's that public participation. Where are we right now? Si lazima mtu akuwe MCA ndo tuende tutafute kufanya kazi. Si ni kweli, my brother? So even today there's a lot of bills going on, there's a lot of policies people are discussing, there's a lot of public participation going on. Where are we as aspirants? Are we involved in such a forum? Are we giving our views, or we are just waiting to be elected into leadership so that you can do something? So as young people, we can do something today to play part in those policies and bills. The other thing is issues of youth policy. How is it helping young people? Sisi tukiingia hiyo uongozini, sisi kama MCS, we have to follow up on those policies and bills, and we see how are they being amended. Ama ni karatasi tu imetengenezwa, then we just know there's that youth policy. Youth policy inaongelea mambo na empowerment ya vijana, inaongelea empowerment ya mama. Then where are these things? Are we seeing them in the ground? So those are the follow-ups as MCS tunataka kufanya. How can we do follow-ups? We have to call different CECs, CEOs. We call them to the assembly. We ask them questions. We have to follow up. Si ni kweli? So if we cannot do that, we will be in the assembly to petition a bill, to petition a policy. Then you don't see the effectiveness of it at the ground. So tukifanya hivyo then hatuna maana. So as young aspirants, kitu nataka kuwahimiza, me included, is that we have to follow up on those policies. When we get there, we have to know how these policies are affecting the community, and it is good because right now we have an opportunity as aspirants, because hatuko kwa hiyo viti, tunafaa kufanya ile background check on those policies and bills zimepitishwa. Where are we? Where are these policies? Is it effective? Kama ni effective, gani haiko effective that when we come to that office tunataka kufanya ndio iweze kusaidia wananchi wa Marsabit. So I think on the policies and the roles of aspirant natokea nitatia hapo. The other thing is as a leader, as a young leader, when you take this position, will you only depend on the county resources or you're going to network outside the county? Because as a leader, we have a responsibility of networking with different stakeholders to bring opportunity to our ward. Si ni kweli? So tusikuwa tu tunatafuta kiti ya MCA tufanye kazi tu kwa assembly. Si ni kweli? So tukua pia tunakuwa diverse. Kama mimi sasa already nimeanza kutafuta network na tuko na network ya Young hapa, na si wote lazima tukue involved. Mimi niko hapo, kesho mimi naweza enda nyingine. Where are you as an aspirant? Lazima ukue kwa hizi network zote ndio tujue when that time comes we'll be somewhere on the table discussing those issues. Si ni kweli? The other thing is kama ni 30% ya vijana wa mama na people with disability, are these things really reality or just people are talking about it? Kama ni youth, kuna vijana kwa ward yako unajua wanapata pesa kama hii? If not, if you get this position, how will you make sure that hiyo vijana wamesaidika kwa njia tofauti? Kama ni mambo na opportunities ya kazi, kama ni mambo na kupata tenda, will they get their right or bado wanachezewa kuambia tu kuna polisi kama hiyo vijana wanafaa kupata? Lakini kuna vijana wazee wengine wako na karatasi ya ile tenda ya akpo ya vijana, wanatumia hizo makatasi kuwin hizo tenda za vijana, na bado vijana wanaendelea kuumia huko kwa ground. Si ni kweli? So hizi vitu wote lazima tufanye background check, ndio wakati yetu ikifika tuingie kiti, lazima tufuatilie na tujue vile tutasuluhisha. The other thing is mimi kama aspirant, there are some issues I want to challenge my fellow aspirants. There are some issues I follow up with my fellow leaders. Kuna vijana wa Busa hapa, kuna vijana wengine youth leaders, tulikuwa tuna follow up, and for the first time we did a Marsabit University Student Forum. where in that forum we discuss issues to do with internship. Hiyo wakati county vile ilikuwa haikuwa na internship. I know my brother Muleta can bear me witness. Lakini vile tulifanya hiyo forum, we follow up with the different letters, and we got support from other leaders, and they did petition to County Assembly of Marsabit. And then even the executive buying the idea, and today about 500 youth are benefiting from that internship. Sioni kitu mzuri. The other thing is issue of scholarship. Najua sisi watu wengi hapa tumepitia mambo na university. Si ni kweli? Na hii scholarship in one way or another it affects all of us and our fellow comrades. There's a problem. There's issue with that formula that it's currently being used. What's our role as aspirants? Sisi kama mimi kama aspirant na viongozi wengine, we have follow up with that scholarship, and we have done the amendment, we have done the petition to the County Assembly of Marsabit, and it was even received by the office of the speaker. But because sisi hatuko kwa assembly na wale MCS wako kwa viti hawataki ku follow up, until today hiyo petition iko huko na haijashughulikiwa. So sisi kama aspirant, one of the first things that we will do is to deal with such issues, na tujue hizi petition ya hiyo scholarship vile tutachangamkia mapema, ndio hiyo vitu isaidie vijana wetu. Si kweli? Si kama ni pesa 45 million ikialloketiwa, sio pesa inafaa kuwa equally shared. Si kweli? Lakini kuna some of the dubious formulas zinatumika yenye ina disadvantage some of the wards, and I know some of the people from Moyale and Upper Central wanajua. So all those things are our roles that when we get this opportunity, hiyo ndio vitu tunafaa kudeal nayo. Si kweli? Na tusikue tu tunaongojea tupate kiti. That's why what I'm telling you is we can do something. As I'm telling you, we have personally I'm doing that. So with this network tukitengeneza, lazima tujue to follow up in other different policies and bills, tujue what's our role na how can we champion for that bill. Nikiongezea sisi wengine tukitafuta hii kiti hatujaamuka tu asubuhi tunasema tunatafuta viti. We have gone through different processes. Mimi binafsi kama Abdiaziz Boru, I've been a student leader in university. I've been a delegate in a School of Applied Human Science. I've been a chief delegate of Kenyatta University. I've been a finance secretary at Kenyatta University, and I have been serving over 7,000 students in the university. Hiyo ni kitu kidogo. Hata mimi wa coffee ba. So tukisema tunatafuta hizi viti, si ati tumetaamka tu asubuhi. We have gone through training, we have experience, and we want to tell our people that it's time that young people need to be trusted in leadership. It's time young people be given opportunity, because tumekuwa kutoka kutoka new constitution ikuje, we have been seeing only the old people into leadership, and we have seen less of changes. We have seen less of development, and it is time we change the narrative. Are we ready to change the narrative? Tuko tayari? Vijana watapewa nafasi? Vijana mko tayari nyinyi wenyewe? So hii vile tumeanza, maybe you may see it is small, but this is just to start the momentum. We know even you who are here, who are from Moyale, who are from Sololo, who are from Northor, who are from Saku and Leisamis, you're going to, if all of us from our neighboring ward will bring another youth, even if it's from the other gender, tushikane mkono. Mimi malete nini labda watu karibu 15 hapa. Sisi pia all of us will look for one aspirant from other ward. In the next meeting tutakuwa nao, because we will be having another one which will be virtually. Then ndo wale wata wako mbali waweze kuwa na sisi. Then after that one we'll have the bigger one. Now sasa ondimeta ndikonga bifadani. Ata sumani arrajarim arrayagachochin bora agamecho chochote then. You may see in the table in front of us, you don't see the bigger names, and you could have asked yourself why. Tunataka vijana wapate nafasi. Sisi wakati ile event zingine ni ngumu sana kuona kijana ama yule aspirant ni young aspirant kupewa nafasi in the table like this one. Mtu kama Abdul, huyu is a mentor mwenye amenika vitabu mbili, ni ngumu kupewa nafasi kwa ile table nyingine. So siani sisi tutengeze table yetu. Si ni kweli? So ndio maana leo unaona all the young people wanapata nafasi ya kuongea, wanapata nafasi ya kujieleza. And this is the moment mtembelea naye tukielekea mpaka 2022. Na hope mtachoka. Tusichoke tukiendelea hivyo. So nikimalizia nataka kusema ni hii umbrella tumetengeneza si ya mtu. Hii umbrella ni si wetu yote. Si sawa? Any activities uko naye in your ward, I will as my brother said, Tari Dida said, we'll be having a platform of WhatsApp. So where we'll be discussing, we'll be sharing. Na if you have event in your ward, tuite. Sisi wote vile tu mmekuja hapa na hakuna mtu amekulipia fare, hakuna mtu amekusaidia wapi, umejitolea kama kiongozi. Hivyo ndo tunaenda kusimama na mwingine kwa ward yake ndio tu oniweta wajabesani. Yono tutaka abane wajabesine. Because maybe in your ward watu hizi tokezea hivi, lakini huko tunaye kiita kasi ngunu. Ingu na vita. Sutala arge wadi vita jirani kale arge ko ba kumbe na mayuka. Nule darana hotel. So ni akalman wajabesani, akalma wajabesino, akalma walunfesino onin akilibin kiti na bale njo. Akalmanza. Akalmo abane wanka na durake fanora. Otandi bin there are people who have supported this event. I know they are anonymous people. You don't see them there. And we need more people to come and support young people. We need even our elders. Mtu akikulipia the transport baba events ndio shinja hiyo mtu amekusaidia. Si ni kweli? Mtu akinunulia vijana hapa maji ya wakae vizuri kudiscuss vitu yao ametusaidia. Si ni kweli? So we want people to believe in young people coming to leadership. Kwa sababu we have seen other people being to leadership and we have seen minimal changes. So ni vile nitaweza yote nitaendelea kusukuma hii mambo na with all of your support tutaendelea kusukuma pamoja. Na nikimalizia mimi ni chairman ya UDA youth chapter Marsabit County. Na hii position si ati nimepewa juu napendwa. Nilitafuta, nilienda hiyo ofisi nikafuruga nikapiga picha na ndio nawaambia if someone who has tweeted most of the time will be given the award. So mimi nilienda kupiga picha huko, watu wa Marsabit walidhani nilinominatiwa huko. Na hivyo ndio tunachukua hiyo nafasi. So mimi napigania sasa hiyo na shikilia hiyo nafasi ya youth chairman ya UDA na nataka kuambia aspirants wenzangu, hiyo chama si ati my brother said tunatembea chama yetu. Yes, but ni mzuri pia chama ile movement vijana wasikosekane. Hiyo wheelbarrow haijajaa bado. Kuna nafasi ya vijana. Si ni kweli? So sisi kama vijana lazima tuchangamkie, tuchukue nafasi. Kama hiyo yank itakuwa option, ikikuwa mbaya huko juu iko moto, tuko na mali ya kutorokea. But meanwhile, hii chama yetu ni ya UDA na sisi tuko hapo na tutaendelea kuipigania mali tunaweza, tunaendelea kuhamasisha wazee wetu na in the few days to come you will see more activities of UDA. Asante sana. Thank you so much.
Asante sana, mweza kusema mengi kama mwanasiasa. Sasa hivi wale na ambao wamezungumza wote tunasema asanti. Ni hayo ambayo tumewaandalia kwa sasa. Nitarejesha kwa ndugu yangu Kontoma kipaza sauti aweze kuendelea na programu yake. Tuko live kwenye mitandao ya kijamii ya Radio Jangwani 106.3 FM Baragumu ya Faraja. Facebook utatupata Radio Jangwani 106.3 FM. Twitter @Jangwani 106. Kuna zawadi ya the more tweets and retweets. Sawa, uingie hapo uweze kucheza kama wewe. Tunasema asanti kwa nyinyi ambao mmeweza kuchangia kwa mitandao yetu ya kijamii. Nitaendelea kuwasomea. Nasema asanti, nitarejesha kwako sasa hivi. Shukrani tena zaidi mtazamaji na msikilizaji wa Jangwani. Tuko hapa katika ukumbi wa vijana ambao wanawania uongozi katika kaunti ya Marsabit.
Basi tunakaribia kumaliza programu yetu ya leo. Kabla nikuwe direction kama guidance ya kuunda vile tutakula namna gani, ningependa kutambua uwepo wa ndugu yetu Dadhi ambaye imetoka all the way from Amerika kuhudhuria hapa. Tumekushukuru, asante sana. Ameondoka saa hii akielekea kwa gari. Amesema asante, tupigie makofi. Alikuja kwa tunashukuru safari yake kwa sababu ya hii hafla ya leo. Sasa haya, hata wote Aspirants, I wish you the best. Mlikula time sana, niliwaambia dakika 3
tunaweza kuwa na Abdu ambaye pia ni
haya. Tutakutana siku nyingine kama ni good. All the rest, mlikula wote na nyinyi all the rest. Wale wanaoleta shipulisikia ndugu yangu sasa mleta mfano nini? Najua wote watano wanao wakiingia. Iko mwingine anatokea katikati. So walikuwa sana inawaambia that is my kind request. Sasa ndio wengi kuna mtu atapitia katikati. Alafu sasa tutafanya hivi.
Si yote imesimama, imeacha hata kufanya kazi. Utapenda.
Nikisema vijana mnasemaje? Peke yake. Tunasema ni mtani yetu. Vijana sawa sawa. Sasa kama unataka kupiga picha kuna bana hapa, mtapiga picha Aspirants. Kwa yule ambaye ametoka mbali na huko Aspirants hapa, mimi sina Aspirants hapa sasa hivi. Programu iko sakanda ya lisa. Lakini Aspirants sina kwa sasa hapa. Nasikia alituma apology. So kama kuna Aspirants hapa piga picha na nyorosha kabisa. Sawa? Alafu next direction ya kupia ni ya chakula. Chakula kiko tayari.